For years, I was getting 5 to 6 hours sleep a night. I would go to bed at 10:30, 11 p.m, lie there for ages, and then wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. feeling absolutely shattered. Then a little over a year ago, I got a testosterone result that showed lower than desired levels, and I decided that it was time to make a change. That was the wake-up call that I needed, and it was clear to me that my poor sleep was destroying my health, my hormones, my mood, everything. So I set out to make some changes and test a load of things, and within about 30 days I'd gone from 5 to 6 hours sleep to consistently getting between 7.5 and 9 hours sleep a night. And a year on, I'm still sleeping that well. But more importantly, now my testosterone is back to normal levels and I feel refreshed, less stressed and healthier than I've been in years. So these are the 7 things that I changed. So number 1, I stopped fighting an early bedtime. Now this is such a simple change, but it's such an effective one as well. I used to think that I should be in bed by 10:30 p.m, 11 p.m, and then just sleep through the night and wake up at 7 or 8 a.m, because that's what normal people do. But it just never worked for me. I would lay there and my mind would be racing, or I would consistently wake up at an earlier hour in the morning. And that always seems to be between sort of 5 and 6 a.m, no matter what time I go to bed. It's just my natural rhythm, I wake up at that time. Yeah, I wasn't doing anything in the evening anyway. I would just sit there, I'd be scrolling through things I didn't even really want to watch on Netflix. I'd just be consuming. So I just brought my bedtime forward, and now I go to bed at about 8:30 p.m. So now I'm usually asleep by around 9 p.m, and that means when I wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. as I normally do, I've still got 8 to 9 hours of good sleep in me. Now I know what you're thinking, 8:30 bedtime, absolutely not. That's when pensioners go to bed and you feel like almost you're going to be missing out on something. Trust me, you're not. Those 2 extra hours in the morning, they're still mine. While everyone else is asleep, I can sit there with a tea or a coffee and I can watch the same TV that I would have watched the night before, except now I feel awake and refreshed. This is hands down one of the biggest changes I made, and if you naturally wake up at 5 or 6 or whatever time in the morning but still feel extremely tired, consider changing that routine the evening before. Stop trying to force yourself into a routine and instead adapt to the routine that works for you. So number 2, I moved all of my exercise to the morning. So no more late night gym sessions or evening runs. Everything happens in the morning now, and when I think back, I would always just feel more wired and more energetic after doing one of those things. So your heart rate's up, you're pumped full of adrenaline, and you're just supposed to wind down 2 hours after that. It just doesn't happen. Plus a busy gym where you're just waiting to get on equipment, you're standing around, it's extremely busy. That's just cortisol central anyway. You're adding stress right before you're supposed to be winding down. Morning training changed everything. I just naturally have energy anyway because I've had a good amount of sleep, and by the evening my body is just naturally ready to rest. If you can make this change, I understand that it's not for everyone, but if you are able to train in the morning instead of the evening, just give it a try, even just a couple of times a week, and see how it affects you. Number 3, and this one's massive in my opinion, I go for a walk or a run or do something each day out of the house, but without my phone, without my headphones, no music, no audiobooks, no podcasts, just no incoming information or distractions, just me and my thoughts. This is time for me to just be bored, which we have forgotten how to do. And when your brain is bored, you naturally start thinking through problems or things from the day or the week or the month or conversations you had or problems that need to be solved, and it just means that you're processing these things instead of letting them build up until the end of the night where you've got nothing else to think about. It's the first time you've been switched off all day. You put your head on your pillow and bing, you're just thinking all the time. Or worse, you wake up a couple of hours after falling asleep and it's like a light bulb, you're instantly thinking again. Taking a little bit of time in the day to just process all of those thoughts and think things through, it's like you've just got a clear mind at bedtime. Now, if you've heard that meditation is the answer, but you've tried and just can't get on with it, you can't gel with it, give this a go. Just walking without headphones. It's like meditation for people who can't meditate. And honestly, this is such a big one for me. So if you're going to do anything, please give this one a try. So number 4 is no caffeine after 11 a.m. Usually 10 a.m. to be honest with you. I used to be one of those people that would just make themselves a coffee when I was in like my afternoon slump at around 2 or 3 p.m. But come bedtime, Some of that caffeine is still in your system, whether you feel like it or not. So I cut out that sort of afternoon caffeine, and the difference is noticeable within a few days. Falling asleep itself, like your sleep latency, is just far better. So now instead, I'll just have a decaffeinated option. I'll either have a decaf tea or a decaf coffee, and for the most part, you can't really tell the difference. So number 5, I don't drink anything within an hour of bed. So I'd always be someone that had a glass filled, and I would just drink all the way up until bedtime, and then I'd wake up at 3 a.m. needing to go to the toilet and wonder why. And then once you've woken up and you've gone to the toilet, you then have to try and get back to sleep again. So now I'll just front load a bit of water earlier in the evening, and then if I'm thirsty before bed, I'll just have a few sips and that's it. And since making that change, I now don't wake up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet. So it's a simple fix, but it makes a massive difference. So number 6 is my bedtime environment. Now you've probably heard these ones before, but I invested in a set of blackout blinds, and that made a real difference. I tried to make sure that the bedroom is cool, and I also went down from 2 pillows to 1. I was just naturally laying in an uncomfortable position. It felt comfortable when I was propped up in the evening, but throughout the night, I think I was probably fidgeting quite a lot, and that had the possibility of waking me up a bit. So going down from 2 pillows to 1 made a big difference as well. Another add-on for this was taking a warm shower before bedtime. Just 2 or 3 minutes warm shower is something that I saw Andrew Huberman talk about on the podcast, and I thought I'd give it a go, and I do feel like that helps as well. And lastly, number 7, if I do wake up in the night, I just don't fight it anymore. Now, I used to lay there trying to force myself back to sleep, my eyes closed, getting more and more frustrated, checking the clock every 10 minutes, calculating how much sleep I'm losing. It's the worst. Now I'll just accept that I've woken up, and if I don't fall back to sleep within 5 or 10 minutes, I'll get up and maybe I'll go downstairs and I'll get comfortable on the sofa. Maybe I'll read something, even on my phone. Yes, I know it's blue light, but honestly, moving your mind away from I need to get back to sleep is often enough to just wind you back down. Within 20 to 30 minutes, I feel tired again, and I'll put down whatever I'm reading, and I'll either go back to bed or I'll even fall asleep on the sofa. I think the key is not fighting it. The more you stress about getting back to sleep, the harder it is to do. So just accept it, do something calm, and just let sleep come back naturally. So those are the 7 things. Let me be clear that this didn't happen overnight. And the first week felt weird, and sometimes it was rough. If you go to bed early, you often do feel like you're missing out. But by week 2 or so, you start to notice that you're waking up and you just have more energy. You feel so much better. And by week 3, week 4, I was consistently hitting 7.5 to sort of 8.5 hours. And you can do that too. As I said, a year later, I'm still sleeping this well. My hormone levels are great. My energy is fantastic. My mood is good. Everything is just more stable, and my days are better. Sleep is genuinely the foundation for everything. I truly believe that. You don't need expensive supplements or fancy tracking devices. You just need to be honest about what your body does and what your body needs and work with it instead of against it. For me, that meant accepting that I was an early riser, shifting my schedule to match that, and cutting out the things that were making me wired. So let's do a quick recap. Number 1, go to bed earlier if you naturally wake up early. Number 2, exercise in the morning, not in the evening. Number 3, take a walk or a run without your headphones and let your brain be bored. Number 4, no caffeine past 11 a.m. Number 5, no drinks an hour before bed. Number 6, make those small sleep hygiene changes, a warm shower, blackout curtains, change your pillow setup. And number 7, if you wake up, don't fight it. Just get up, do something calm. Try a few of these and see which works for you. Everyone's different, but I guarantee if you're getting 6 hours sleep, and you probably know this, you just don't feel right. You're not performing at your best, you're not recovering properly. You just feel like you're running on empty all the time. But if you fix your sleep, everything gets easier. So if you do have any questions, or if you've got your own sleep tips, please do drop them in the comments. And if this was helpful, please give it a like and a subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.